for years. He is known for using the bounty of the Coachella Valley and its environments to create contemporary American cuisine at Morgan's in the desert at the La Quinta Resort and Club. I know that you all were familiar with Morgan's. Chef Schmidt garnered national acclaim when he opened Rattlesnake Club Restaurant in Denver and Detroit, and it celebrates now more than 20 years as an award-winning Midwest dining destination. He's a pioneer in America's culinary movement towards sustainable cooking and farm-to-table dining. Schmidt co-founded Chefs Collaborative in 1991, the nation's leading nonprofit chefs organization devoted to fostering sustainable food systems, as one of the original board members of the James Beard Foundation. He's authored and co-authored Cooking for All Seasons, Jimmy Schmidt's cooking class, Heart Healthy Cooking for All Seasons, which he wrote with cardiologist Dr. Marvin Moser of Yale University, and of course Jimmy Schmidt's Cooking Class 2. He received the James Beard Award for Best Chef Midwest, Wine Spectator's Award of Excellence, and Gourmet Magazine's American Top Tables and America's Best Restaurants. So if you would, welcome a familiar face to our stage, Chef Jimmy Schmidt.
Hi, good afternoon. We're going to do exactly what the preface was, is that we're going to use a lot of local ingredients and really bring them to fruition. The style of my cooking over the years has evolved, and through that evolution, the focusing on building big flavors very naturally is really the direction that we're going in. Every single ingredient that you'll see here today is not overly complex, but it's a reoccurring theme of extending flavors into the salts and into the oils and capturing the different personalities of the ingredients and then focused in the dish. So this salad is actually really hearty and is very fulfilling, so I hope you'll enjoy it. First of all, the Coachella Valley is great for artichokes. These are the baby artichokes. Now the trick about baby artichokes is that they're not coming from a small artichoke plant. They actually come from the side stalks of the large globe artichokes that they charge the premium for. So after they go through the fields, they take the large globe artichokes for market, they come back and glean the fields for all these little guys. Now, I love both of the types of artichokes, but these are a lot of fun because they're really easy to handle and they have a tremendously higher yield. So I'll show you how to clean them. These have been simply boiled in salted water and not with lemon or anything else like that, because really the temperature of the water will kill the enzymes within the artichoke that causes the browning to take place. So all the lure of acid broths and all that type of thing to cook them in, or blancs, which is flour and water and salt and lemon, are effective, but not necessary. So if you cook them to a knife would insert and come out very easily out of the base is how you measure them. So with these little guys, and hopefully, can you see this on the counter okay? What you want to do is cut it in half, and then cut it in half again for a quarter. And yes, all the coarse outer leaves are on it. It's just like it came off the plant. And then I happen to be right-handed, so I take the knife at about a third of the way down the artichoke, where the tender leaves start, the lighter colored leaves, and I cut gently down, and the knife will stop in the fibrous artichoke leaves. So now I use the knife to simply hold the artichoke on the table, and you can pull the choke right from the rest of the leaves in one motion. And when you have to clean 10 cases of these a day, you learn a better way to do it. So you can actually just buzz through these guys rather than the old method of peeling leaf by leaf by leaf and then still having to cut out the center choke and such. This is the easiest way to do it. You know, so it's a lot of fun. So the artichokes are really great. They're great in a lot of minerals that are good for you. They're great in fiber. They do have an element that is a little less wine friendly, and it has to do with its isoelectrical charge of how it interacts. It's called, I believe, citrin. And that actually tends to make the wine seem a little sweeter. And so today, being paired with this Sauvignon Blanc is perfect. It's real crisp. It has a lot of mineral attributes as well. So it goes really, really well with the artichoke. And then we're going to balance it out with an emulsion to balance out that sweet and tart flavor. The next thing that I'm going to throw at you is this little guy. This is a sunchoke, native to North America, comes out of the upper plains, Nebraska, Minnesota, down south in Georgia, and in Florida they grow it. Some is grown in California as well. This is a tuber, like lots of other relatives, and what most root vegetables do is they collect starch inside for next generations of plants. This is a very, very unique root because it actually collects inulin, and not insulin, inulin. And inulin is a natural carbohydrate fiber. So it tastes incredibly sweet, it's really delicious, and it's all fiber. And it's the best fiber that you'll ever eat. So what we're doing with this little guy is they can be cooked simultaneously with the artichoke. You can peel them with a little scrubby if you want, although usually the skin comes off of them by themselves. And just slice them, and you can cut them into fine julienne, and you can actually do it before you cook it too. And they turn into resembling like little batonets or linguine or noodles.
Oh my goodness.
If you cut it beforehand, you can get them paper thin, cook them exactly 60 seconds in boiling salted water, and you've got Sunchoke linguine. So we're using this as texture and also as fiber delivery into the salad as well. So we're building good nutrition and good flavor within the salad. The next thing we're going to do is the recipe calls for chanterelles. We have hedgehogs. My chanterelle guy is out combing Santa Barbara right now, and it's been a little less unsuccessful. Now with these chanterelles and porcinis and such, when we get them in, we always take a lot of the stems and the extra attributes and infuse them in oil. So we toss them within a little bit of porcini oil and a little bit of porcini salt, where we dry the mushrooms and then blend them back into natural sea salt. And we just take this mix and we allow the porcini or the chanterelle oil flavor to permeate the mushroom along with the salt for that same purpose. And the salt is not very salty. It's only about 20 to 25% salt by contact. The rest of it is mushroom matter or vegetable matter in that type of basis. Every ingredient we add has a flavor profile as well as it has a nutritional profile. So we'll just let this sit here for a second. And then the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is to make an emulsion. Lots of dressings. The typical vinaigrette is about 1 part of acid to 3 parts of oil in that type of direction. And oil is very hearty for you, but I think it lacks a lot of flavor. You know, it's just kind of got the vinegar and oil thing going on. If you go towards an emulsified, or where everything's holding itself together, you end up with is what an aioli or a mayonnaise type situation too. But generally speaking, in those emulsions, they actually end up being about 8 parts oil to 1 part base matter. So the way we cook now in our style is that we really build emulsions based upon the vegetable matter. In this case, I'm using slivered garlic that has been roasted in olive oil, and quite a bit. I know you think this is going to take your head off, but during the roasting process, which is done very slow, 120 degrees, that all of the sugars are developed within the garlic. You might notice too that the garlic is sliced very thin. We do not chop garlic. Every time you cut the garlic clove, it releases enzymes that cause a type of mustard gas, the different type effect that comes out of indigestible as well. So when you eat lots of raw garlic, all these other great side effects come around. You make new friends, you know, animals follow you around and stuff like that. So by cooking it really slowly, you change it from this kind of beast, you know, kind of converter over into this really sweet, delicate, you know, situation. As well as we also develop all of its gelatinous attributes so that it will act as a blending emulsifier in this situation. Now we're going to put in a little bit of mustard, Dijon mustard or yellow mustard, whatever you want. And the reason why is, love the flavor. It'll be in the background just as a spice level, but more importantly, mustard is a natural emulsifier. And the emulsifier, together with the gelatinous attributes of the garlic, will cause the oil and other parts and the liquids to stay in suspension and make almost like this creamy without creamy type dressing. You can use other things in here: roasted onions, roasted shallots, roasted fennel, sunchokes. Last year, if you were here, we were throwing mushrooms and dates and stuff in it to make this emulsion, and it makes it very clean. Now to get it started, we've got some Meyer lemon juice for the brightness of the artichokes going back in that direction. And a splash of the Sauvignon Blanc is always good in my book. And then at this point, we're going to put in this red salt, which is actually Aleppo pepper. So it's a lot of this sweet Aleppo pepper dried and blended again with the salt. It looks like I'm adding a lot, but it's only 20% salt. The salt is not salty. And the reason why we put it in the beginning is because salt is hygroscopic. It has the capacity to absorb moisture. If you add a lot of salt late after you add the oil, it gets mixed in with the oil and does not dissolve until your party. And then you find out that your emulsion is very salty. So we're using a high-speed blender that kind of helps us process along. And as you can see, the volume of liquid and vegetable matter we have is quite significant. And then we have Meyer lemon oil. We make our own, and the Meyer lemons are actually crushed with the olive oils. We make some of our own blends, but this is a really good one. And the reason for using this is it's a great olive oil and it has the lemon flavor in it as well. And this is a little bit of the garlic oil off of the roasting process. And as it starts to slow down, we've reached our critical mass. So you can see we've had about 2/3 part vegetable matter and about 1 part of the oil. A little bit of black pepper for fun, maybe a touch of lemon, and that's all there is to it. The thing is that every single ingredient that was added in here is bursting with flavors. When you taste the emulsion on your salad today, it is not shy. But it's not aggressive. It's just, kind of makes the world go round. So next, to finish pretty quickly on this salad, we have the mushrooms that we've been, did in the porcini oil, the chantrelle oil and the salt. You can take these and throw them on the grill real quickly and just listen to them. When they start to hiss or they start to make noise, they are telling you they're done. You don't have to do anything else. The food will tell you exactly what to do if you care to listen. So we've got this. We've got some really fun kind of red Mizuni lettuce that we'll throw in here. We'll throw in a few of these lovely artichokes. I get to eat this later, so I'm being a little heavy here. This is my lunch. And some sunchokes. And then I threw in some, fresh basil too. And we'll just put in a little bit of emulsion. And just kind of toss it up. And it coats really well. And you have very, very concentrated different flavors in each of these vegetables. The mushrooms will shout out mushroom with all of it, with the mushroom salt and the oil on it. It maintains their position in it. Lots of individual flavor. And you've got a wonderful hearty salad that we can top with a little bit of Parmesan. The Parmesan we just put on a parchment or a silk pot and bake it until it becomes crisp. And there you have it. It's a very simple salad.